Hello, everybody. Welcome back to How Come. It finally happened. I got COVID. Boo. Ben gave it to me. It sucked. I had like a crazy earache. He lost his taste and immediately I was like, eat my ass. He didn't. We were not in the mood to bang. We did eventually. I'll talk about that another time. But I'm better now. This episode is so very good. We are talking to Rayna Greenberg and Robby Hoffman. They have both been on the podcast before. Rayna is a podcaster from the podcast Girls Gotta Eat, and she is also the co-owner of a new company called Vibes Only, which we'll talk about in the episode. Robby Hoffman is a hilarious comedian. Because this is episode 15, we also owe you a congratulations, besides congratulating me for getting over COVID. And Ben, congrats to us. We recorded an amazing first time congrats that you can listen to on patreon.com/howcome with our companion Britt. But we've done so many like first time congrats, and also this Sunday, July 31st, is National Orgasm Day in the US and the UK and Australia and South Africa and a few more other places. So we decided to ask you about your best orgasm stories in a question box, and we compiled a list. Here are some of the ones that you submitted. We want to hear the ones that you want to hear more fleshed out because the question box is oh so tiny. So after I read these, message us, like let us know which ones you like, and then we'll contact those people and have them on. These are amazing stories and I can't wait for you to hear them. So this first one is, my partner slowed down and really focused on me and I had 4 O's back to back. Happy surprise. Love that. 4. What is your number? A lot of people, it was like their highest number. Was edged on a wand for a long time before finally being allowed, with a little angel face. Fun. Bae and I were fighting. We had angry sex. I tried being stiff to spite him, but ended up having an explosive orgasm. Interesting. I want to hear more about that one. Squirted all over his car console. Was in the beat seat of his car. Sorry, not sorry. What is a beat seat? Is that like where you jack off? Because then she did the right thing. First time my wife pegged me while jerking me, came so hard my cum splashed my cheek. That's an accomplishment. Holy shit. I like this one too. He brought the lube. My clit stood no chance. Came with a partner for the first time. Unreal. I love when somebody brings the lube. And also, I have to keep saying this as a PSA. Spit is not lube. Spit is not lube. It dries up. It's uncomfortable. I know it's like, oh, but it's for two. No, it's not lube. Bring lube. It's super hot. The next one was mixed breath work into it. Full body tingling and cried after uncontrollably. Just wow. A release and then a release. I cried after my first one. This one says it was while I was just kissing. I need to hear more about that. And then this last one is hooked up with a dom last weekend and squirted multiple times. My response, I don't know if I'll ever recover from this. I want to hear about all of these. But write us in. We posted them all in a carousel on Instagram. So you can comment the one that you want to hear more about. You can DM us, email us, whatever. Just let us know which ones you want to hear first. And I liked collecting these because like we do a lot of like first time stories, and a lot of you did say that your first time was your best time. So that's amazing. And then some of you were like, I don't remember mine. Like, is that okay? And it's like, yeah, because then you just have room to make more memories. You could get started today on National Orgasm Day, or if it's not anymore, just get started today. And again, if you want to hear a first time congratulations with a great companion named Britt, it's already on patreon.com/howcome. Celebrate Orgasm Day. We asked in a poll on the stories, how do you celebrate Orgasm Day? And 36% of you said having an orgasm. 3% of you said giving an orgasm. 1% said receiving an orgasm, and 59% said all of the above. I don't know why receiving is less than giving, but I think having, at least have one, because that doesn't count on another person being around. Or it's like you had one because you got, I don't I don't know why I'm even weighing in on this. Anyway, happy Orgasm Day. I hope you celebrate. You guys are going to love this episode. It's not about orgasms, it's more about boobs. But we talk about orgasms too and sex toys. Again, it's with Rayna Greenberg and Robby Hoffman, and we are talking about saying ta-ta to their tatas. Rayna had a breast reduction and Robby had top surgery, and we're talking about the differences and similarities of those things, healing, their feelings behind them, all that good stuff. Rayna's new company as well, and what Robin and I did in LA. Great episode. You'll love it. Let's go.
How come I can't achieve? How come I can't achieve? I'm rolling up my sleeves. Oh baby, I believe these guests can help, 'cause I can't do it by myself. I wanna jizz.
Okay, wait, Rayna's here.
Okay, wait. Ben, leave. Leave. You can let her in. Love you. I'm sorry.
Okay, they're both here.
Hi, Ram.
Hi, Rayna.
Hi, Rayna.
Hi, guys.
Hi, Robby.
Hi, Rob.
Rob to Rob.
It's all ours today. Ours across the board.
Oh my gosh.
Wow.
That's amazing.
I cannot wait for this episode. You guys, put your hands together, put your titties together for Rayna Greenberg.
Hi.
And Robby Hoffman.
Hi.
Hi. So excited that you're here. Both of you are second time comers to the show.
Yes.
I'm in Ben's basement in Jersey, so pardon if my internet is shit and I'm in the moodiest mood.
Oh, no.
But I'm excited to see you both.
Do you want me to record backup audio for you in GarageBand?
Hell yeah, Rayna. Look at this.
I don't want to do that if I don't have to do that. I'm not doing it. I don't want to do anything. I can't leave anything open and download. I'm not doing it.
No, Robbie, we'll deal.
Sugar and spice.
Thanks, guys.
We'll see how we go. Robin, just become me. If I pause,
Remy, you got to get it together at some point.
I knew that you were going to like,
No, because this is every time I see you, it's something. I want one day where I see you like, I feel great.
I love
I
this.
showered. I cleaned my shit. I'm doing it like one day. I'm not asking for a lot, just as a friend.
I would like one day like that.
Me too.
Okay.
Like, I know how you feel. I live as me.
Are you in shitty moods a lot?
Me?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. She gets depressed. She has depression.
Got it.
But this is a treasure to have you all here. And today we are talking about titties and specifically saying ta-ta to them, or at least part of them, because both of you have had surgeries in which your boobies were involved. Rayna had a breast reduction and Robby had top surgery. How has everybody's relationship been with their boobs from the beginning? Like, do you remember when your boobs first came in, and how did you feel about them?
Yeah, my boobs first came in when I was like 11 or maybe 10.
Yeah.
I hit puberty so young. I was just like, what is happening to my body?
Yeah.
And I was just like, all of a sudden, like more attention than I had ever gotten in my life, and so much more attention than I was ever used to getting. I was like the most popular girl in middle school, and grown men were like paying attention to me, and it scared me because I didn't know how to handle something like that. And I think it affected like my posture, and I would wear baggy clothing, but like I wanted, even at like 14, 15, I wanted to be cute. You develop an interesting relationship to attention because you're getting so much of it, but you don't really want attention for the thing that you're getting
For
attention
that reason.
for.
Yeah.
And you're not
exactly.
you're not a sexual person. You don't know how to be sexual, and you're hypersexualized at a very young age when you're really not used to it. And I'm sure it like killed my father to like see me walk out of the house. But listen, it's not all bad. You know, you grow up and you learn to deal with it. But at a young age, it scared me. I knew that I was getting attention from boys. Girls called me slutty, and I didn't even know what that meant because I had never even like kissed a boy before. But I would always be like teased for being slutty. And I just was so confused about that because I thought people saw me this way, and I knew it was because of my body. And it took a lot of years to sort of like mentally deal with that.
Were you one of the first girls in the grades with tits?
I was the first girl in the grades of tits.
The first
I went to like
girl.
a Jewish private school. None of these girls like hit puberty until they were like 17. I was getting my period at like 11. I was wearing a bra at that age, and all I wanted was to have the same body as everybody else. I was like dying to have the same body as the other girls. I started taking diet pills at like 12 years old. I was taking like Dexatrim and stuff like that.
My God, so did
all
I
wanted was to like get rid of that shit. I just really did not know how to handle. I'd fight with my mom all the time about it. My mom's a therapist. So she was she was very aware of what was going on. And I don't know that she knew how to like help me. It wasn't like a daily problem, but you get a lot of attention. It's not great. It scares you.
Yeah, I had a similar experience. I have a very complicated relationship with my boobs in that way, but in other ways as well, where like I was one of the first 3 in the grade that had boobs, and like we would go in a closet and confer about our boob growth, because like that meant that you were like adult, you know, like you were grown, and that was like really exciting. And then on the flip side, I grew up doing ballet, where if you got boobs, that was horrible. That was like the end of your career or whatever. So it was like 2 different worlds, one saying like your new boobs are great, one saying your new boobs are bad. Me, who just saw it as like growing up, I was like I would run around my house and I'd be like, you guys check out my boobs. And like my dad and my brothers would be like, no, we don't need to check out your boobs. And now I'm in the place where I'm just like, yeah, I like my boobs. But then sometimes I'm like, I don't even know if I want them on my body some days. You know, like some days I'm like, I feel too girly for my gender at this point. Like in certain respects, I feel too like sexy on stage in certain outfits. So I'm in like the middle area where I'm just like, sometimes I'm like, they are fabulous. And sometimes I'm like, get off of my body.
How big are your boobs?
Right now, they are so fucking big and heavy because I've gained weight. So they're like a double D, which is like, when they're down at like a B, like I can handle that. That's fine. But yeah, no, yours were like what, like a G?
I don't even know. I mean, I'm 5 feet tall.
Yeah, okay.
I have a pretty petite frame. I have had enormous boobs, and I was always like that girl with the huge tits. That is always how everybody described me. It was every work environment. It was the school environment. It was everything was sexy. Everything. I mean, I could wear like a burlap sack. It looked sexy. I didn't like it. I didn't want it. You know, sometimes it's nice, but it was too much. So I had like probably like an E at one point, but I could fit into a double D, but like that probably wasn't my size. But again, I'm 5 feet tall. That looks insane. I mean, listen, if you want that, go off. That's great. But I was a little tired of it.
I don't even know if I belong in this conversation. I'm just realizing.
Yes,
but
you
go ahead.
do.
Okay, Remy.
Robby, how did you feel when you first had your boobs come in?
Nothing. I felt nothing at any point. I don't have any of this. I felt hot and good. I had a great high. I don't know. I just, as soon as I don't even know if this is the right conversation for me to be in, because I realized that it's very 2 different conversations.
But that's why I think it's interesting.
I know it can be interesting, but it can also be lumping me somewhere I don't want to be lumped. So I'm worried about that off the top. But
okay,
I'll say this, I had great tits. I was like a B, 34. Really, I got attention that I liked. And I always got the right, I think for me, attention never necessarily to do my body, but as a talker and as somebody who was outspoken, that, kind of class clowny. I got that type of attention, which I like sometimes and I didn't like other times. My body, I never really thought about. I always had a good body. As soon as I heard about top surgery, I was like, yeah, great.
That's so interesting to me though. Do you know what I mean?
I barely thought about it. And I did it. So I don't know. I guess I didn't have like a huge rejection. I'm just like, oh yeah, if that's an option, I'll do that. But I wouldn't have, it wouldn't have been the worst. I do think that I wasn't feminine for a while, and I was compressing them, and I was wearing sports bras more. So, and always like using a sports bra and then like binder sports bras. But I was never very big. And so it worked well. And this is just better, but I don't have this big relationship where it was like, I was sexualized. I didn't have a dad. So I didn't have my father like coming down, like, don't leave the house. I don't have that.
Were you in school with only girls when you were first getting your boobs? I forget.
No, I was at also a private Jewish school as well. I got boobs probably like when she was talking about when normal people got boobs, I think like 13, 14, whatever.
The average.
Yeah, like I think, and I do think that Jewish girls do mature faster. I'm surprised to hear that 17 number. You were very fast, but I think Jewish girls get tittier and assier sooner than at least our boys, develop anything. So, and maybe that's true across the board. But yeah, I don't have this massive it's really just not something I think about a lot. I think about, growing up poor. I think that was like the biggest thing was like, I was always insecure about poverty and stuff like that. And all the other stuff was really
secondary.
I enjoyed life. Like I was kind of thin and hot. All my friends were hot. I did well with boys. I enjoyed that. Then I found out I was a lesbian very late.
Right.
17, it's not like my whole, as a kid, I had nothing. I was great with boys. And then I realized, well, this is what I am.
I'm great with boys, but they're not great for me.
Yeah. Like I could give a hand job, but I don't want them touching me.
Right.
And then when I discovered top surgery, that was it.
Wait, so, okay.
And I was sexual. I was extremely sexual. In high school, I loved to hook up and attention that way. I thought it was a lot of fun. I snuck out at camp when they could wake me up. Sometimes I didn't have it in me. But I like to make out. I like to do stuff like that. And I don't have the same. And that's why it's interesting. They're all very different conversations. I was extremely sexual. I know that Rayna wasn't sexual.
So I wasn't a sexual person at 10 years old. I was always over-sexualized for how I looked. I've always been a sexual person, like at an age when it's appropriate. I think I was like getting attention from grown men when I was 11, and that was weird for me.
I feel like you can be sexual. Like, I feel like a lot of young people at that age are sexual, like with themselves, like in private, but maybe not ready to be like sexualized.
Yeah, I think my relationship to sex has always been pretty healthy. And I grew up in an environment where sex was a normal, healthy thing. My mom like gave me the books to read. My mom had like normal, healthy, like it's good to be attracted to people and explore your sexuality type of conversations. And I always like had boyfriends. I lost my virginity when I was like 16. I've always dated. I've always had sex and enjoyed sexuality. I probably masturbated younger than like the average person because again, I was just introduced to sexual topics younger than probably your average person.
And if you guys want to get a refresher on Rayna's first time coming story, head back to our episode with her and Ashley Hesseltine, who is her co-host of Girls Gotta Eat. And she was sexual, always sexual. But unwanted sexualization is a totally other thing. And that's when the big boobs come in. But I think that what's interesting about boobs is that like it seems like it's sexuality for other people in a lot of cases. Like I see before and after breast reduction videos all the time on TikTok, and always in the comments there's a bunch of people going, no, why? This is so sad. Like, did you get any of those comments made to you?
I've had a pretty like positive experience when I would share with people that I wanted a breast reduction. I'm sure people have heard me talk about this for so many years too. I wanted this since I was like 18. I went and saw a doctor about it. A friend of mine, Ali Colbert, said that, she got a reduction when she was very young too, at like 19.
No way.
Yeah.
I had no idea. I just did Ali Colbert's podcast. I love her.
She said that she felt like it was like shouldn't be part of her body.
Yeah.
And I was like, wow, I went at like 19 and it scared me so much.
Yeah.
But so many people just were so nice and supportive, and people that you wouldn't think would be supportive, like heterosexual, straight, like men were like, well, how long have you wanted this? And yes, I mean, I was really surprised by the support from people I didn't even think I'd get it from. Like people that you would think would say, your tits are so great, just don't get it.
Yeah.
I really felt supported in the decision, and everybody I told it to said, how long have you wanted it? And I'd said 15 years, and everybody was like, that's amazing. Like it's a scary thing and you should be excited. And I wrote about it.
I think the reduction hits so much differently. I think the people who I know have gotten a reduction, it's like changed their lives. And I can relate to that in cutting off my tits. Like I think going smaller is just, you're so much lighter and whatever. And Rayna, can I ask a personal question?
Yeah.
What's like, how do you, so I was going 0, obviously, but how did you decide what size? Were you worried that size might increase as we all fluctuate hormonally or whatever, like that it could come back? Or like, how did you decide on the size that you are now? Was that harder to do? Because there's so many options.
I, to be completely honest, I'm not super thrilled with the result.
Really?
The doctor did a great job in terms of just like how I think the scars are healing. They're not as small as I'd like them to be. They're actually quite a lot bigger.
Whoa.
Really?
And I'm disappointed in it. I'm upset. I've had discussions with the doctor about it.
They got to do a free revision. That's disgusting.
They do. You feel a little violated because you're like, I said I wanted this thing and I paid a lot of money for this thing. We've had a lot of discussions about this thing and you didn't give me the thing.
Right.
So people say, let your breasts, and he did too, let your breasts settle for like 6 months. They will change a lot. The swelling will go up and down. The scar tissue will change. So I'm very happy to do that. And I'm not like worried because I know at the end of 6 months, I feel confident going to the office and saying, you fucked up. You didn't do what I told you to do. This is my body. You have to fix this. And
ridiculous.
The way that he clapped back at me was so shitty. And I want to empower people to clap back at the doctor. And, I said to him, I told you I want like a small C cup and I'm spilling out of a D. I can fit into my double D bras. And he said, then find bras that fit.
What the fuck?
And I said, I was so mad.
I'm so mad.
And I said, I paid you for a breast size that fits into a C cup, and that is what I would like. And I was like so mad when he said it. But I think that doctors are not going to admit that they fucked up. And I don't think they're going to admit that they did the wrong thing. And
I had that, my doctor too. Like, well, I got the result. I love my results, but I was supposed to be covered. I didn't mind if I wasn't covered. I paid privately, and they were like, give us your information. We submit it to insurance. And if it's covered, it's covered. I said, great. I get a letter. I'm actually covered. I paid everything, but they're supposed to send me a check back. And they never did send me.
Wow.
So they were paid by insurance, but they never paid me the money. Yeah. And there's just no way. Yeah. Like really scammy stuff. So what he did is he reassessed it. And then he made it so I was supposed to get like $8,000 back or something. He made it so that he reassessed his surgery price to $8,000 more.
That is so fucked up.
Yeah, it's really fucked up.
That's fucking criminal.
Yeah, it's actual criminal. And if I want to like fight to the day I die for this $8,000 that I already thought I was paying, I could, but it's just not worth it to me. Like when I bought it, I'm like, okay, I'm treating myself to $8,000. Like, why I work so, it's like I could continue to fight this to the day I die, or just, let the original, I thought it was going to be $8,000. They're the ones who told me, you know what I mean? We might get insurance money back. And if we do, we'll send it to you. And then insurance called me and they sent me the deposit that they sent them. They said, we sent them the money. And then, so they reassessed it to be $8,000 exactly more. And they didn't send me any money. It's criminal, these doctors. And Rayna, you're totally right. They think, because I grew up where my mother revered doctors, and maybe you have the same thing. I don't know if your mother is a doctor. You mentioned she's a therapist, but you might know this.
Not a doctor. Yeah.
But you know what I mean? It's like my mother, like, revered doctors. Like literally, I remember us going to get checked up for camp. Like, just like before camp, you have to do, we're all Jews here.
Yeah.
You got to do like a health check. And I remember me and like 3 of my brothers were sitting on the doctor bench or whatever that checkup thing is. And we're all like in our underwear and the doctor's like going down, I'm like maybe 8. My brother's like 9. My other brother's like 10. And my brother's like 11. Okay. So the 4 of us are sitting in our underwear and the doctor's going down. He's like, oh, looks good. Like definitely eating more than his fair share. He's good. Just make sure he's running around the summer a lot. We'd love to see that. They get to me. They're like, Rivka looks pretty normal. Nothing to worry about. They get to my brother. They're like, he's a little under. We'd love to see a couple more pounds. Nothing crazy. Just the kind of thing that like he's finishing his plate. Blah, blah, blah. The doctor finishes up my last brother. Thank you guys for coming in. Have a wonderful summer at camp. Okay. The guy leaves. The doctor leaves. My mother's like right away, like, get dressed. Up. We're like all getting dressed. My mother like tugs my brother's pants, like showing the room. She's like, you don't weigh enough. Yeah. You don't weigh enough. Embarrassing me in front of the doctor. Like she just had this thing, like the doctor was judging her that one of her kids, like, you know what I mean, is in a lower percentile. Yeah. And it reflects back poorly on her. My friend's father.
On her as a mother.
Yeah, my friend's father, who was a doctor, would always offer her a lift home. He would see her like waiting and she would like never. She's like, he's a doctor. And he's like, Connie, I'm going the same way as you. Like it would, your kid is at my house every weekend. Like it really is no stress. But yeah, so we have this reverence for doctors and we don't push back, and they're as unethical as people are, as you would imagine.
There's an entire show called Botched because of what doctors have done to people's bodies. Robin just sent me this. A nurse who was 29 claimed she was given implants and a tummy tuck instead of a breast reduction due to a paperwork mix-up, only for the clinic to try and pass it off as a free bonus surgery.
Jesus Christ.
Like people, I feel like we get on the subject of like advocating for yourself with doctors a lot. It is something that you have to do. No, I don't want you fighting to the death with this, but like some doctors think because there is this like
board certified reverence that they can do anything. And like you were going to say, oh, maybe he won't even apologize. Like he should. Like if somebody fucks you up and then you bring it to their attention that they fucked you up, whether it's like mentally, sexually, medically, or whatever, not only should they say, I'm so sorry I did that, but they should be like, how do I fix that for you? You know, like they shouldn't leave you worse than when you came in or unhappy.
And I don't want to say he is like, I'm not putting any words in his mouth. He's not a terrible person. He did offer to fix it. And he said, whatever at the end of this, great, we'll fix it, whatever. Yeah. And I do want to say, I believe in science and medicine and going to school for this stuff. But just in all cases, whether it's a doctor, whether it's your boyfriend, the loudest and most arrogant voice in the room is not always correct. Yeah. And just because they're telling you you're wrong in a louder way, that doesn't make them right. And it doesn't mean you can't clap back at them. And I heard him telling me basically how stupid I was being and trying to make ridiculous, really silly. Yeah. And I just was like, I felt so bad for anybody else that like doesn't hear that voice inside of themselves saying like, this is bullshit and I'm going to fight for this because like, this is my body and I know what I asked for. And the nurse asked me when I got there, did you get implants? And I fucking knew that they looked too big. I knew they looked too big. They're fine. They're still way smaller than they were before and they are healing nicely.
Well, okay. I have so many questions, Rayna.
Hit me.
Two things. If you go back for revision, okay, my thought, and maybe I know you've looked into this, ask for a B or something like smaller than the one you want. No, because now you've had right? Because because that gives it room to go up.
I thought you were just being like, what I like is a B cup.
No, I'm saying go, like you said, you want a C. So I'm wondering if going down one, like if you want a B, ask for an A. If you want a D, ask for a C type of thing. Just because it's not, even though it's a science.
But like, why are we translating to European sizes for doctors? Like we should just.
What do you mean?
Tell them what, you know what I mean? Like, I don't want to be like, oh, I'm like a fucking 4 here, but I'm like a 12 over. Like, I don't want to do the calculations. Give me what I ask for.
Yeah. I probably had like an E size boob when I went in, but I wear double D bras.
Could you give the viewers, what is an E? Like just with your hand.
Big, a little bigger than that. I mean, they didn't take that much. Okay. So
that doesn't look that big. But go back again. So I wasn't, that's not an E. Come on.
It's big.
100%. They're
huge
big
boobs. So they are smaller than they were before. They're very large. I didn't pay all this money and go through surgery and slice my body open and have scars all over my breasts to have breasts that are like one size smaller. And I feel that the doctor has really like gaslit me. So I'll tell you guys what I did. And I think that at least like, hopefully someone will take a piece of advice from it. I just kept hammering him and saying, I understand what you're saying. I need an answer. I need to understand how this happened. I need to understand how this happened. What are we going to do about it? And I recorded him. I recorded every conversation that we had. I kept my phone on record in my in my purse. I'm not going to let this guy come for me. I think it's bullshit. Hopefully he'll just do the right thing. He'll do the surgery. I'll be happy. Everything will be fine. But if not, I have receipts. I have answers. And I felt like I wasn't being listened to. And so I was like, okay, I'm not going to be nice anymore. We're going to record these conversations. You're going to give me real answers. Yeah. So I'm going to get it redone, I hope.
That's a smart thing to do.
I will say, if somebody's like scared to get a breast reduction, the healing has been pretty great. The pain is really minimal. Really? I was back up walking around, moving around the next day. I was perfectly fine and never took a painkiller. So my experience has been that they've healed pretty well. They're just a lot bigger than what I
remember. You were out and about and I was like, oh my God, I would have been laying down for 3 months.
Ramy, you did 3 countries. You'll be laying down for a week. So,
I know. Yeah. But Rayna, you were saying that one of the things that you were maybe thinking about going into it was scarring. And I'm curious, were the scars worse than you expected? And Robby, like same question to you.
Rayna, you go ahead.
It was the thing I was the most nervous about because I was like, what am I sexually without these giant perfect titties? And when I say perfect, I just mean there's no scars on them. And I didn't know like, am I going to feel sexy? Am I going to like love having my clothes off after this? How's it going to feel? So I got the surgery in January. This is June now. The scars have flattened out. They've gotten much lighter. There's like a light pink scar down my breast. And honestly, I feel like if somebody finds that unattractive, it's their fucking problem. Like, I still think I'm attractive. I think I'm sexy. I'm proud of my body. Is it how you
Let's all rate Rayna.
What?
Let's all rate Rayna.
Oh, you want to see my scars? You want to see my scars?
A 10.
I'm kidding. Obviously a 10.
A 10.
Oh, wait, it's on top of your scar?
It's just like a normal. little scar.
I don't see a scar at all.
No, I didn't realize it's on top. Don't they do it on the bottom for breast reduction?
So you can have a couple different, most people have what's called an anchor scar. It's straight down from your nipple and under it. I don't. I just have the one straight down from my nipple, but you have a scar around your nipple as well. But mine are flat. They're light pink. They're fading. You can do all kinds of scar treatments. I did silicone sheets on my breasts. Oil. I mean, listen, it's not my favorite thing in the world, but I feel better about my body that I don't have like such huge breasts.
My scars are really good, but I did everything he told me to do, which if you're getting like, I did also, you have to do silicone. Silicone basically just keeps them moist all the time. I did the Biocernum silicone. Okay. It's like $80. Just do it. Okay, so I did the gel and then I did strips for a bit, and I was very good about just doing that. I never massaged them or anything, but also it's genetic. I had a surgery when I was 17 to remove some type of lump from my leg that to this day, they never told me what it was, what it is. Very bad healthcare. But that scar is white. And so I just think that I scar white, which is good for me because I'm super pale. So because the white is lighter than me because it's basically pigmentless skin. And even though I'm pale, I do have some pigment. So my scars, I mean.
Oh, you like really can't see them.
Yeah.
Nothing.
Yeah. So I scarred really well. So I'm thrilled, but
Did
I
you
was
do
worried.
it in like the winter or something?
What?
Did you do it in a shirtless or a shirt covered month?
Did I do a shirt covered month?
Like what time of the year did you do it? Because I
August
feel like
21st.
a lot of people. Oh, whoa! In the summer.
Yeah, but I'm not. What am I traipsing
So did you
around?
like stay out of the sun?
Yeah.
don't know.
Anyway, I stayed out of the sun, but for 6 months, I didn't do anything. I didn't go in the water really. I didn't. I did everything. I didn't work out. I kept my arms low. I did like everything to not stretch them because some people you see get tops or 6 weeks. They're like, here's my movement. I can do this. Yes, you can do that, you moron. But this is going to be wider every time because if you think about top surgery, it's cutting your chest in half. That scar is holding up your whole belly. Like that's it's pulling. It's wanting to pull. So when you pull extra, it's going to get wide. And once it widens, it never goes back. So mine, I just kept taut the entire time. And now that it's solidified as a scar, it's almost as thin and it's very pale. And what you really see for me is almost not even a scar.
Pec muscle.
Yeah, is you see my muscle. So you see more of a
It looks like muscle
shadowing
contour
than you do even my scar at this point, which is nice.
Can I ask you a question? When you woke up from surgery within like the next week, the next month, like, did you feel like I finally have my body?
It just right away felt so natural. Like it didn't even feel awesome. It didn't feel anything. It felt like, great. And let's put on a shirt and go. Like it was just so normal, and I guess before that it felt so unnormal. Like I was always managing. So it's like just to not manage was great.
I forget, how big were your breasts before? Did you have like prominent boobs?
I had like a B34.
Okay.
No, I didn't have too big. I was kind of on the cusp of getting keyhole, which is a surgery where they just go through your nipple. But I really feel, and people who are on the cusp just do double incision, which is what I had, 2 incision and free nipple grafts. They take your nipples and put them back on. Do that if you're on the cusp, because I've seen people who are on the cusp when they get it and there's some skin sac, which I really didn't want. So if you're on the cusp, don't do it. I would say that keyhole is really for people who are like literally A cups, double A cups, really like scooping out a little bit and they're good. Because the sag is just, I don't love it.
Okay.
If you love sag, by all means.
If you love sag, yes. Go ahead. Did you guys worry about loss of sensation at all?
No, nipples didn't do anything for me anyway. I'm not somebody who's like, play with my nipple. I never felt my nipples a tremendous amount, but I do know girls who have. And if anything, I was not using my tits at all. Nobody was touching my nipples or I was always flat or with a shirt on. Now I love being touched. I happen to also have not lost sensation, which is, so it's easy for me to say, but I prefer it so much now just to be touched in general there because I didn't even investigate it before.
Yeah. I never lost sensation on my nipples. I was concerned just because like I think that like hard nipples look sexy in like a shirt.
Totally.
But mine are more for like viewing than for I don't care about anybody touching my boobs. Like if you want to play with them, I don't care. I'll rub them on your dick or something. But I'm not.
You don't touch your boobs for yourself?
Oh yeah, Rayna's big on this. I
Never.
forgot.
I'm huge on it. I'm playing with my boobs constantly.
Oh, I'm touching them constantly, like nonstop, but not for pleasure reasons. It's just that's where my hands always rest. I'm always nervously just like grabbing my boobs. But
for comfort.
Yeah, pleasure. Mine are more just for show. I just think they look nice, you know. Otherwise, I don't care about them.
I feel like I used to think my boobs were much more for show because I know that other people really enjoyed them. And then it wasn't until I got like permission on one of my assignments that was like, touch your boobs for yourself. And now I'm just like, I'll like lick my own boobs. I'm like,
our body's so interesting that everybody has like different pleasure sensors in different places. Like so many people I know like love butthole play, love it. Women I know love to have their butts fingered or at least like massaged a little bit. I don't want anything anywhere near it. And I've tried it on myself. I want to get into butt play. I want to enjoy it more. So
has somebody gone down on your ass?
I've had everything happen to my ass. I don't like any of it.
I don't understand what anyone gets out of having their ass eaten. Like, it's not for me. I literally say it in stand up. I let Ben do it because he likes doing it, but I'll just sit there being like, okay, like I've got some TikToks to catch up on.
I get a little tickled there. I do like it there.
People like it.
I like stuff up it, but not licking it.
And it's a mental thing because it's like, it's especially dirty. So it's also a mental thing, you know, plays in, I need a lot of mental stimulation. For me, it's like so
mental. Are you a sapiosexual?
So anything that, I love dirty talk for the mental aspect of sex is huge for me. So I like it. I do feel it tickling. It's not a daily thing. If it's happening, I'm enjoying it. It's not something I require.
I feel that I don't have pleasure centers there. It's just, I know everybody like should, but I can have vaginal orgasms every time I have sex, which is not what everybody can do. Like I still like for them to be in somebody's face, like hitting them in the face and I'm on top.
I'm really into that. That's a good one.
I think it's nice to like when you're giving a blowjob, like rub them on somebody's dick. Guys like to tit fuck you. I'll oblige. It doesn't do anything for me, but it looks naughty.
Exactly.
I had an orgasm recently.
Oh, muscle toe.
While being titty fucked.
Were you touching
just
yourself?
from getting titty fucked?
No. Like I had a toy down below and stuff. Yeah. But I'm just saying at the same time. So it was like a position that I had never seen before. That I was like, look at us.
I have questions about the tit fucking. Yeah. Where was Ben while it was Ben on top, or were you like, who was
Ben was on top, like
sitting on your face, on your chest, pinning you down.
Sitting with like his knees on either side, and then I had my hands around with the toy on me, and then he was just like on top. Like
sitting on your chest, pinning you down with his butthole on your chest.
Well, his butthole must have been on your stomach.
Yeah, I guess. I wasn't thinking about his butthole.
I think about all of it. Somebody told me she's 69 with her boyfriend and he's always on top during the 69. And I'm like, I don't.
No. So the balls are in her eyes. Ew. 69. We talk about it way more than it's ever happening.
I have gotten into it. I have decided to reincorporate 69ing into my life because I just think it's dirty. Like, I just think it can be nice.
But you can't concentrate. The biggest thing about making somebody come is concentrating.
So that's the thing is I think for 69 to enjoy it, you have to like remove from your head that you're going to come from it. I mean, I know some people can, but for me, it's just like this fun thing to do. Yeah, it's like foreplay. And recently somebody told me I have the nicest butthole he's ever seen. So it made me want to do it more.
Nice. Oh my God. Yeah, we love encouragement.
That's good.
The thing that you said though about your friend being like that the guy is always on top for 69, like that is like unacceptable because like I feel like you would like suffocate and then like also like who is he like planking? Like I feel like you'd have to be like side by side. Yeah, everybody needs to be like kind of like resting a little bit. Otherwise, like how?
I was like, he hates you. He's not like a small guy. He's like 6'3". He's like not small.
So maybe he's on all fours. Maybe it's easy for him.
Yeah, I'm trying to see how.
Right, and she's short. Maybe he's on all fours, so he's like not planking. He's like comfortable.
Can't even begin to picture that.
I can't.
What if he has a 10-inch?
Yeah.
right? Because he's 6'4".
So
it's very
she's
likely.
laying down and he's like in a little tabletop.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think that's what they're doing.
Yeah. Or he's trying to kill her.
Okay, listen, not that I know straight. This is what I would infer they're doing. And I think I'm
I know
probably
a couple,
right.
straight couple that I haven't spoken to them in years, but the last time I saw him, we were out and he was so drunk and he was like, me and my wife, 69 every night. And we eat each other's assholes. And I was like, every night? Like, that's so much. But also, like, do you?
I mean, how much average, like everyday, quote unquote, normal sex can you have? You got to start exploring other positions at home.
I don't think people have sex
100%.
every day. When
But
people say
to them, this
they're
is like
lying.
missionary.
Yeah, nobody in a long-term couple is having sex every day. They're lying, and it's so weird.
I guess it depends on what stage of the relationship.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
All the time, like when I first met my last serious boyfriend, we had sex every day. We had sex multiple times a day.
But
This
in the
lasted for
beginning,
months.
yeah, of course. The
Yeah.
first year, sure. But after a while, you're not running a race, you're running a marathon. So what you're conserving, you're running a little slower just so you can run longer.
Mm-hmm. I agree. Yeah.
But what I want to say before is I'm seeing someone with very big tits right now for the first time really in my life. I've always really been with kind of like model-y or smaller girls. And very nice, I have to say. Very nice. So that was
Larry
it.
David.
I just wanted to shout it out. It's nice to have them on my face. It's nice to have them against my body. It's nice. They're very nice. I feel like
Has she taught you anything about handling them that you didn't know coming in with only smaller breast?
No, I'm just doing what I want. She seems down. And, I'm sleeping like a baby. I just have my head in them. I'm holding her belly and I'm sleeping well, or falling asleep in that position. And then I turn around to really sleep.
I remember the first big pair of boobs that I ever saw that like wasn't in my family that I was like, I gotta get in there. Like there was a ballet teacher.
That's wild.
That we had with
For
big
ballet?
boobs, but it was Pee-wee ballet, so she was like still allowed to be there. She had the biggest boobs ever, and it was like, did you guys do Pee-wee ballet where like
no,
you guys would okay, so there was like you would do like the floor stuff, and then people would go one by one, and when people were going one by one, you would sit on the wall together, and one lucky girl got to sit in Miss Courtney's lap. That was her name. And we would all run for her because if you got to sit in her lap, you got to like
it's very
smush your head right between her boobs.
Wait, are you saying that you like remember feeling like sexually attracted to it, or you remember feeling just like I enjoy the comfort of it?
I'm not sure.
Exactly.
How old were you?
All mixed up.
I was like 3.
You were
So
okay.
it was like little. And I was just like, I need like, and all of us, I think, had the same, I don't know if it was, I thought about it like later when I was in my like, am I gay? Now I'm like, I don't know. Kids are.
I think it's maternal.
Like
I think, and that can all be sexual. We have such a daddy fetish that's really like taken over. And everybody is so open with that and call me daddy and and it's very fun when that happens. But there's also a maternal thing. I think the same thing. People have daddy fetishes. People, maybe it's not as exposed, but feeling,
no. I was with a guy that had a mommy fetish and he wanted to call me mommy. And it takes some getting used to.
No, for sure. But even if it's not as overt as calling somebody mommy, being in somebody's huge tits has a maternal, it brings you back. It is comforting, but you're a grown up, so it can be very sexy. You know what I mean? And maybe as a kid, you're not really going there, but there's something about comfort. Now, as a grown up, you can integrate comfort into your sex life, and it's just amazing. It makes it that much better. But I think it does obviously come from some Freudian, maternal attachment that we have. So you having that memory, Remy, it's not like, oh, you were some perv at 3. It just makes you feel good. And now feel good could mean so many more things. And so we just bring that stuff with us to the bedroom sometimes.
Oh yeah. I wasn't saying it was pervy at all. It actually reminded me of the first time, like I saw a woman like naked with her breasts. And I remember feeling like sexually attracted to it. I guess I didn't know I was sexually attracted to it, but I was like 12 years old, maybe in the showers at like my summer camp.
Yeah,
and I remember seeing another girl who was like older that had like big boobs. And I remember like I guess I couldn't identify the feeling that I was attracted to it, but like I couldn't stop staring at her. I was like amazed at her body. And like it took me a long time to understand and accept that I was attracted to women and like what does that mean and why do I like lesbian porn, but I don't want to date girls, but I masturbate to them. And you know, you're like 12, 13, 14 and you're like, I need to define this right now. What does this mean?
First hits I saw was my mother at the public pool changing when she changed in front of me. I'm like, Ma, they were to the floor, horrendous tits, saggy. I'm like, Ma, what are you doing? You know, like, why are you changing right here? Like we were all such like shy kids.
How long after your surgeries were you guys having sex again? Weeks, months?
I had the surgery on January 20 something and I had sex on February 18th. I only remember that because it was a Girls Gotta Eat show. So I remember the date. So yeah, like 1 month, about a month.
Yeah, about a month,
Cool.
about a month.
For a while I was having sex like with the, like always with the bra on, like the like compression
After
bra.
surgery?
Yeah. So a while I was having sex with that on. And then I did have sex with somebody, no bra, but with like the silicone strips on. Then eventually you just kind of get over it. I mean, it just is what it is. And I think it's different if you have like a long-term committed partner versus somebody that you're like casually sleeping with. And I don't know how open you want to be with your body with somebody that you're casually sleeping with. It gets easier. I mean, if I was like still with the person I was with a year ago, who I was very much in love with, it wouldn't matter to me.
What
like,
happened to him?
It just wasn't going to work out. Nice person, just different goals in life.
And Rayna, you said you had bras on for the beginning. Robby, did you ever wear binders during or no?
Yeah, you have a post-op binder. I can't remember how long I had it. I think I had like the really severe binder a week immediately after, like you can't breathe. Then I had an ace bandage type binder for maybe 6 weeks. Like you have to wear it. I guess you don't have to, but again, I was as cautious as you could be because I was thinking of long-term results. So I did whatever he told me. But then you could wear kind of a looser ace bandage over a shirt or something. They just don't want you totally letting your body hang. You know, you just want to give this as much support as possible. So yeah, I was wearing a binder, but not 24/7, like whenever I was out or that sort of thing.
You can have sex the next day if you feel like it, as long as you're not laying on top of your breasts. It's just that most people don't feel like it.
Yeah, you can't. We were told we couldn't for 3 weeks because of any like very severe, like you're just not cautious about how you're moving your body. And they don't know what kind of sex. They don't know if somebody's like just giving you a hand job sitting next to you. Fine. They're like, just none of it because we don't know what you're doing and we're not going to get into it. You know,
we don't know if you're trying to get on the swing.
Yeah, exactly.
When I got my surgery, I didn't even masturbate for like 2 weeks because I was worried I was scared about blood flow and I was scared it was gonna. So I waited like 10 to 14 days to masturbate. And then I was fine. But my doctor also said, do what feels right. Listen to your body, work out. I waited longer to work out. I probably waited 3 weeks to work out because I like to ride a Peloton bike. And so a lot of bouncing. No.
They said 6 weeks, nothing. And the 6 months really almost like nothing above here. So I really, I think they're giving, you know what, they're giving different information to top surgery and to double or mastectomies or breast reductions. And I think it's funny. My friend had a cesarean C-section delivery of her baby, and they gave her no information about scar treatment. So I right away gave her everything that I know because it's almost an identical scar. It's a flat, long scar. So I was like, should be doing this silicone, this and that. But like, she was just sent on her way. And I think for women health, like if it's specifically women health, like they're just not telling you, they're not as cautious. And I don't know why that is. Maybe they're like the top surgery scars is such a big conversation of it. But with breast reductions, I almost never hear about the scarring and stuff versus top surgery. It's all about what were your scars? What did you do? And with breast reductions, it's more about the size.
Do you think it's because some of them are the scars are like under where the boob falls?
Sure, but who wouldn't want nice scars?
They sent me like a whole email with information. They had like a sit down with me in the office, but I also think a lot of people are just fucking lazy. And if there's one, I'm I wouldn't call myself passive, but I'm not super alpha aggressive. And if there's like one thing I've taken from the co-host of my show, my business partner, Ashley, is that like, you have to force people to give you answers and you have to force people to tell you like what you're supposed to do. And like, never stop asking questions until you walk out of there. Like, don't let people like brush you off and send you on their way because they're fucking lazy.
Yeah.
Like, you have to fight for yourself. Cause I think it's pretty normal for people to be like, I'm bored, I'm having a bad day or whatever. I'm not going to like go through this whole thing. But like, I sat in the office and I was like, give me the range of treatments based on pricing, based on availability. I want to know every single thing. And like, you should fight for that because people will blow you off.
Yeah, so we've mentioned your co-host and business partner, Ashley Hesseltine, a few times. Hi, Ashley, if you're listening. Wish we could have had Ashley on this episode, but there were already too many voices. But Rayna and Ashley just launched a company last month, and I think this is the perfect time to talk about it.
Like, just congrats to the moon.
Congrats, Rayna. What's it called?
It's called Vibes Only. I'm very excited. Ashley and I worked on this for a year. So it's 2 parts. It's a sex toy company and there's an app. And every toy has a Bluetooth chip inside of it, pairs to the app, and there's a remote control.
Where'd you get the money?
We paid for it.
But did you raise money?
They've got a very successful podcast and empire.
Girls Gotta Eat is where I got the money.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So you raised the money yourself. You went through the development of the product.
We have suppliers in China. And then we have app developers, but we are involved in every single second of it. We have people that help us, obviously.
So they're made in China.
Yeah. Yes, the toys are made in China.
From China to your vagina.
That's a good one. That's a good one, guys. Rayna, are you going to integrate that log line under the Vibes Only logo?
I feel like there is an endless amount of taglines and ways to like make this fun on social. So I'm excited about it. It's been going really well. The Rayna vibe sold out week 1. Yay. And we have one coming for Remy. Actually, we just mailed it today.
You have a vibe named after you?
Yeah, it's my company.
It's a vibe. I would.
What do you sell?
So we launched the company with 3 toys. We have one that's like great for partners and for travel. We have one that's just like a traditional everyday wand. It's so beautiful. It's like gold handled. So pretty.
There's a vibe. There's a suck.
And then we have the
you know what I want?
What?
A masculine sex toy for girls.
Like what?
I don't want pink and purple. And
what do you want?
I want why don't you make one green? Why don't you make one black? Why don't you make them normal colors? I hate going.
Robby, are we going to have fights?
No,
again?
This is me loving. These aren't fights. This is how I communicate. Sorry, I grew up without a father. Okay. I would love if you offered not only pink.
There's room for everyone. Some people like a really pretty toy with a rose gold handle. I think they're
agree.
Gorgeous.
And there's a lot of those. There isn't any green. There's no blues. You're missing a navy blue vibe.
I'll have that my first vibrator ever was a navy blue vibrator. And I'll have you know now that the entire company, the branding, the packaging, and all the vibrators are pink. Every single one of them is pink. And I love pink.
Well, will you put out for 1 month? Will you go? We're going dark.
So we are working on a light blue. Yeah, we just started the company this week.
They started today. It's 1 day old.
It's literally
it's a week old. It's a week old. But we're working on a powder blue. We're working on a light blue vibrating butt plug. You're gonna hate it.
I'm gonna love it. Here's the whole thing. I want to see the products. I think we plugged the products today. There's no question.
Sure.
Me questioning and complaining is me enjoying. To complain is to enjoy for me. Okay. And that's where we get lost in translation, that I'm yelling at this. No, I'm interested.
Well, you're Jewish. Listen, you're Jewish. I get it. That's how we talk.
Robby, what are your favorite toys that you like to partake in? And Rayna, this is not telling you to update your line now whatsoever.
Well, I do think they got to get better at having a suction toy.
That's the Rayna. That's the Rayna that's sold out.
But they're all bad. So if yours is good, fine.
Maybe you need to try the Rayna.
And I haven't tried them. Here's the thing too. So I don't really know. But when I've gone to the store and seen them and I go, does this work? She always goes, well, this one actually, it ends up being more like a vibrator. There should be one that really just suctions.
There really is.
Okay. That's
There really are a bunch. I don't know who you're talking to, but there really are.
They're at the sex shop.
But which ones do you use when you're at home?
I don't use a lot.
Or are you a fingers guy?
Well, here's the whole thing. if on myself, I would only use maybe a vibrator. I don't use my own fingers. And in the bedroom, I'm not always using a toys. I think a lot of people think dykes use toys more than they do. I'm using my hands and my mouth, different things. So I don't know. I'm not always doing a toy. The one that I do use, and I've recommended this to dykes, I'm more into prosthetics, which are normally for trans men, but I'm somewhere on that spectrum. I love the company Gender Cat. They make really gorgeous feeling dildos and prosthetics that just feel really, really natural. The skin of it is really nice.
With like a harness or an underwear?
Yeah. This one, they actually have one that's self-adhesive, and when you pull it off, it doesn't stick to you anymore. It's really amazing.
Cool.
Yeah. So they're a really, really cool company, but they do things for a lot of trans people. On the trans women spectrum, they do things like nipples and cups and things like that. And on the trans male or trans mask spectrum, they do these packers or prosthetic dicks or dildos or whatever you want to call it. And they're really, for me, the texture is key. And they have ones that have like, they call it dual texture, where it's like softer on the outside, harder on the inside, and you can just feel the depth of it. It's very natural. Cool. And they have all different sizes. Like I have a packer, which is not for sex, but I feel hot wearing it. I go through moods where I wear a packer and where I don't, maybe if I'm going out.
Just to walk around.
Yeah. Like going out. It's very small. It's like 2 or 3 inches and it's very squishy, just to have something in your pants. But the material again feels so good. And then I have one for play, which is like 6 inches. But I don't always use it. In fact, I have to get a new one because I sold my last one.
And the 6-incher, do you still get sensation from?
So they have something on the other side. They have a little hole for your clit that suctions onto your clit and stays there.
Unreal.
Yeah, I want to do this immediately.
So you can feel when you're going in and out.
Yeah. Wait, so I was going to say, like, I love a toy like a Rayna, like what you were saying with like the suction, whatever. Those are my favorite ones.
Yeah.
And I like that yours has like a long fucking handle.
So ours has a wand.
Can we see it? Do you have a prototype, Rayna?
I don't have it with me. I'll show it to you on the phone. But it has there's 2 motors. There's a suction. It's sort of like a wand. There's suction on one end, and there's just a motor if you want to just do a vibrator. And it bends into a C shape. You're gonna put it inside of you. But I don't love other toys like this because they're egg shaped, and I find them hard to hold on to.
Right.
This is a wand. I'll show you.
Yeah, egg shaped. Where did they go mental with this egg shape? So hard to hold on to. Okay, that's sweet. Yeah. That looks really cute.
It's like a nice and long handle. Oh, there's one that I have that it's kind of egg-shaped, but it's got like a point. And I like to imagine that the point is kind of like a dick sometimes, where I'll like kind of be like thrusting while the suction is happening. And it feels like I'm like, like fucking the toy with a dick, or like kind of like jacking off at the same time, and it just like gives that sensation. So highly recommend to anybody that likes to feel that way.
This is the Rayna you're talking about.
Yeah, I haven't tried the Rayna yet, but I'm saying I'm excited that it has a longer handle, because then I'll have an even longer dick.
Yeah.
A flexible one as well.
This is giving me so many fun ideas.
So many fun ideas. But Robby, the gender conversation, because you famously have said on Twitter that you will never come out as non-binary.
I don't know if I haven't said anything. I'm the last she/her.
You did.
No, I'm the last she/her on the planet Earth. That's all I know right now. Okay. I think people are waiting for me. I'm not coming. I'm done coming. I'm not subscribing to anything. I'm just letting everything. I just happen to be like this. And so I have to be roped into conversations like this, where I'm like, I didn't want to be a part of this conversation on either end. I don't care. But it's because I look and live my life like this, that everyone's like, well, what? No. If it's important to you, great. It's not that important to me.
But I think that's a really interesting perspective. And we were just talking to my friend last week about how she's like, for all intents and purposes, bisexual, sure. But I'm not going to say that because I don't feel that I want to. And I'm like, okay.
It's just,
I think.
Yeah, it's too weaponized. Here's the whole thing. It's like, on both sides, on the worst of it, a company like Amazon can come out as, we're celebrating Pride. We have a trans flag outside, using kind of my name or this community as a way to not, what?
Queer baiting.
Yeah, as a way to just not talk about union rights or workers' rights or things that actually affect so many people. So I don't want to be roped in and be used as token or a political pawn for different things when I'm just living my life. At least from my perspective, I'm more affected by other things that don't have to do with my quote unquote identity. I'm more affected by growing up in poverty and income inequality. And so those things to me do have a greater presence. And I guess for some people, the other stuff does, and that's your prerogative. I'm just saying for me personally, I'm still so mad about so many other things before I even get there. So I just don't, it's not the conversation that I'm having because I still feel like I'm having the same conversation since 5 years old about other stuff. But I happen to be an example, I'm out there and somebody said, do you do any queer stuff? And I said, everything I do is who I am. Right. So if I do a joke about cars, I'm still me doing that joke about cars. Do you do any Jewish stuff? Everything I do could be inferred as something, not because I'm a Jewish person doing what I do. So it's all connected. I don't have to, and online, I like to bait. I like to be like a little shithead, like a Bart Simpson. I like to be contrarian and fun. And that's just fun for me. I like having fun. So I'm going to be a shithead online because online is a shit space. So I don't care and I lean in and I have fun, but none of that is really, I just basically live my life. It so happens that how I live my life got really popular, or people became in the know about like people like me. I used to be very anonymous, like, oh, it's Robby. Now it's like a conversation. But I was always just here. And just now just more people know what's maybe going on.
Yeah, I don't know that I have like a right to speak on this topic. It's not my neighborhood, but I haven't read I don't know your online presence, but I think that we all deserve to identify as whatever we want to or not. And I don't think that you owe an explanation of what you are to anyone. And if you don't feel like this is the cause you want to speak on, you don't have to be the mouthpiece for it any more than I need to be the mouthpiece for all Jewish people or all women that are sometimes attracted to other women. I don't think we have to define ourselves. Conversely, listen, if you are wanting to be the mouthpiece for that, great. That's amazing.
I agree. Yeah. I agree. Exactly that. And the other thing is like we got so into identity, whereas I grew up in such a community-based place where, my identity isn't the most important thing, but really the well-being of the family and the community. Yes, identity is a part of that, but I feel like we need balance in all of it. So right now we're having this identity moment where everybody is getting to like think about who they are and what they are and things like that. And I think it's a place of privilege to think about a lot of that stuff sometimes. But I also, my instinct is more communal, just generally, even though I'm having this unique identity, I suppose, I still feel very much a part of a community, and I feel very much the wants and needs of the collective. And if we can all put our differences aside and think about what we need together and get through that, like that's where a lot of my instincts just lie in, not focusing on my differences and saying how I'm different from you. And so we can't do this and that. It's like, actually, yeah, we're all different. People tend to vary, but where are the ways that we're the same? And where are the ways that we build community? And where are the ways that we can help the most amount of people possible? So those are just my instincts. I'm wired, this kind of culture towards individualistic identity is more new for me. And I'm also fine to be not totally normal. So it all exists. I'm not like, you can call me not normal and it doesn't offend me because I agree with you. There's nothing wrong with being not normal, or, when I say normal, I'm talking about a normal graph of people in society. 99% of people who are born women do not cut their tits up. I mean, so it's just scientifically not normal. And that's what I mean, the word normal. And of course, everything
wherever
is
you
normal.
Are, I am with you.
Yeah, and of course, everything is normal because every experience, like people vary, and so we're all here.
Yeah.
Anyway,
totally.
in any event,
you guys, I I know that you didn't think that this had anything to do with each other, but I think it really, it's about titty meat. But also it's about like just embracing who you are and how you feel and wanting to feel like more yourself through boob surgery.
Yeah.
Amazing.
And I appreciate you both trusting me with this conversation because, Rob, I know you didn't feel like this was your place in the conversation.
Yeah, I almost dipped out. I was so mad. I was so mad because I thought it would be like all gender stuff, and I'm so tired, and I've asked for none of this.
I know.
And I'm like, I can't get into that because it's too annoying for me. And I was like, really thought what you guys were saying was really valid and a real, like, has to have a conversation. But I was like, it's such a different reason than me that I think it needs the room it needs. And I talk a lot.
But your way is so valid too.
No, I know. It's just a total different, you know what I mean? It's almost not the same discussion, but it ended up being the same discussion because everybody was open and made me more open.
Good.
And Rayna, thank you for trusting me through me and Robbie.
Yes.
Oh, I knew you guys would be great. I'm not. Also, I don't know that it's like such a deep, dark story. Like I had huge titties and it was so hard. Like it's not a disorder. It's just I was sick of having these giant tits. And I was done with it. You know.
You look great. Let's see in 6 months. Let's get an update going. And this doctor is making me sick.
You sound like my doctor. We'll see you in 6 months. Thank you.
But yeah, just do whatever is right for you. There's many reasons why you might want to get a breast reduction or a top surgery. And if it feels like that is going to make you feel more yourself, then like do it.
Yeah. I think for anything that I talk about, like anything I've learned on the show, like doing our show for 4 years is anytime I describe how I am or how I feel or decisions I made, I can only wrap it in the box of like, this is how I felt. This is what was right for me. I can't tell anybody else how to think or feel because I don't know anybody else's financial, economic situation. I don't know what choices you need to make. So I always just try to wrap everything I say and like, this is me. I'm going to tell you how I felt. If you take something from it, great. If not, I'm not a spokesperson for you. And the way I live my life is not a judgment on the way you live your life. I think that having weddings is stupid and a waste of money. But if you want to have a wedding and spend money, then you should do it. I love a wedding.
But you like going? You like going.
I don't like anything more. I go to a wedding. I would go to a wedding 5 days a week.
Yeah.
I love alcohol and dancing and free food and meeting. You just meet people you hook up with. It's great. I love a wedding.
Yes.
You get to look great. But at my age, am I going to make a bunch of girls stand there in the same dress and make my parents?
Why not?
It's fucking stupid.
You gotta believe it. I'll be 90 and you're standing there. I don't give a fuck.
That's what I mean. My life decisions aren't a judgment on yours. I don't want to do something.
Exactly.
And if you want to, I don't fucking care. Do what you want.
But you are preventing us from going to your wedding.
That's ridiculous.
Which affects us.
That's ridiculous.
Have a wedding.
Listen, I'll have a wedding. You're rich already. What's the difference? You think it's a waste of money?
You don't know anything about my bank account.
Whatever. Your mother's a therapist.
Mean anything.
Just have a party. I just want to have a party.
I do like a party.
I keep telling Ben, I'm like, I don't even want to marry you. Can we just have a party with both of our groups of friends? Like, please.
You could do that tomorrow.
No, it's got to be a wedding. You got to put your money where your mouth is. Nobody's coming to a fake wedding party.
I'll come. Just call it a birthday party. Call it it's fucking Tuesday party. I don't care.
Perfect.
Rayna, what's your birthday?
It's June 17th. I'm a Gemini. I love to throw a party. I threw a party on a boat last year. It was great.
I would love that.
When's your birthday?
December 2nd.
Are you a Sag, Robbie?
Is that bad?
No, everybody that I date is a Sagittarius. I'm like wildly attracted to Sagittarius men. It's everybody I'm into has a green aura and is a Sagittarius man.
Got green eyes. It is what it is.
Okay, great.
You know who Rayna would be good for?
I do want to get back to one.
Okay.
No, I'm not really seeing anybody. Remy hates this.
Remy, you're mad at me. I want to set her up with Jared Freed.
She knows Jared Freed.
So soon.
Jared is one of my very good friends.
Oh, I don't know. He's the cutest. I think he's the cutest. He could be a Sagittarius.
We talk every day. I love him very much.
Are you kidding? So I'm not wrong. I'm like in the milieu. No, I'm just saying, obviously you already know him, but I'm just saying like, it's not a crazy outlandish person to think.
No, it's not crazy. He was one of the first guests we ever had on my show.
Nice. Okay.
Great.
Okay. They already know each other. If they didn't, I would have been my pleasure to connect them.
Thank you. No, I appreciate it. I think he's the best person ever. And so I'm flattered that you think that he would date me because I think he's just the best.
I think I've only met him a couple times. Love him. Seen him kill.
We
Good
love
energy.
him.
Yeah. Remy, what do you want? So wrap your shit up.
Okay, I just wanted to wrap my shit up.
So do it.
Okay,
Sorry, we're talking on a podcast. My
because
God.
here's my thing: is my internet's so bad, and I'm like, whatever. I'm sorry. Okay. Earlier today, we posted this tweet. And it was somebody saying posts like this are just as bad as spreading COVID misinformation. And the initial post was, sucking on boobs doesn't turn a lady on. Y'all are just wasting our time. And I shared it being like, yeah, everybody's going to get this because I love having my boobs sucked on. But time and time again, I get proven that everyone is different. And you two, neither of you is too keen on that, right?
I feel like everybody's body is different.
Like, I love to suck on, so it's fine. I love to do it, but women like when the person's enjoying
You like to
something.
do it.
Yeah. And I've had girls who like it and who don't. Because again,
Exactly.
people tend to vary.
Everyone's different. So just ask the boobies that you're with
is
if
what it
they would
is.
like to be sucked. Yeah.
Just don't be a creep, be respectful, and consent can be many, many things in a way that you're always communicating. Do you know what I mean?
Yes, totally. You guys, this has been so wonderful. Do either of you have any sexual goals or goals in general that you are taking into the rest of this year?
My goal for this year, 2022 resolution, was that I was going to be more open and honest about how I feel about things. And so that they don't spin out of control and I'm mad at somebody for long periods of time when I could have just nipped it in the butt in the initial conversation.
Yes.
That was my goal for the year, that I was just going to acknowledge things in the moment, that something bothered me. And I think that if you just do it early on, I think that it's great and you just move on.
I think you're right.
Sexually, I just want to keep getting it.
Yeah.
That's it.
It's a good one.
Thanks.
I love that. Robbie?
I never really have goals except to be as successful as humanly possible doing what I do. It's not a new goal. It's just like, I just always want to do whatever I can be doing. Like, I want to do what I do forever for as long as it will have me and as long as I can do it. And it's just, my goals have always been just to sustain a life that I love living. I don't really have a particular goal, unfortunately. Like,
that's a great goal.
That. Okay.
I think
that's a great goal.
Everything you do, you can like wrap it in that and say like, is this going to help me sustain long-term success? No, I'm not doing it.
Yeah, I just enjoy doing what I'm doing, and I would love to do it for as long. It's just a pleasure.
Mm-hmm.
I'm so grateful that you guys came back, and Rayna, I could not be more proud of this new company. Plug. It's gonna be. You're gonna give so many people orgasms, which we love to do.
I know.
Without touching people.
And guys, look out for the Robby.
vibe.
It's going to be a big black wand that Vibes Only is coming out with.
True pleasure. Robby Hoffman, can you tell everybody where they can find you?
Yes, they can find me on Twitter for some pretty viral tweets, a couple semi-virals.
Pretty viral.
What did I have? A 70K tweet the other week. So it's not nothing. At I am Robby Hoffman for nudes on Instagram at Robby Hoffman. And in my stories, I post the shows I'll be at all over the city. The city being Los Angeles for now, but I'll be in New York and I travel around.
Yay. Rayna Greenberg, where can we find you on the internet and your companies?
Oh my God, I'm too accessible. It's Instagram, Rayna.Greenberg. Girls Gotta Eat Podcast. It's the podcast. You can find Girls Gotta Eat Podcast literally anywhere under Girls Gotta Eat Podcast. And Vibes Only you can find on Instagram and the App Store. I got a lot of websites, a lot of Instagram stuff going on.
Yay. No, many mazzles. Both of you, I have to ask this question after sexual experience, which this has been. Robby Hoffman, did you finish?
I have to pee.
Okay. Sometimes it feels like that before.
Yeah.
Rayna Greenberg, did you finish?
Yeah, I finished. I feel great.
Amazing.
Great.
Thank you guys so much for coming. And we'll see you guys
Thank
next time on
you.
How Come. Goodbye.
Bye.
Let me know how you like the toy.
I can't wait.
Okay, good.
Thank you. Bye.
It's not you, it's me. I try so hard to finish honestly. They say you'll know when you go all the way from A right down to O. Oh no, I think that I still got a ways to go. Oh, I'm sick of this and I have got to know. How come? How come? How come I can't achieve? How come I can't achieve? I'm rolling rolling up my sleeves. I'm rolling up my sleeves. Oh baby, I believe these guests can help. 'Cause I can't do it by myself. I wanna jizz.
I hope you didn't think I was going to end this episode without a review of the Rayna. It is fucking cool. It's really flexible, so you can have it suck you and put it inside you at the same time, like if you want to do it vaginally. I have not tried sucking and putting in anally. I don't think it's that flexible, but you could put the wand side in anally, and I think people would like it because I like putting it in vaginally while the sucking is happening. It's like, I've said this before, I like that like full feeling of like two things happening at once and like being plugged up. And I will say, have a squirt towel handy, like a squirt pad, like puppy pads. Like, I don't think I've ever squirted so much as I have with this. And to the point that I was like, I have to smell the, like, it was like bad. It was, but like good, you know? So if you really want to squirt, do that. And if you just like suction, it has a stronger suction level than the toy that I normally use. So highly recommend. Thank you, Rayna and Ashley, for my toy. They also sent me a picture of Ben naked, which was so cute. They got it off of his Facebook. It's not like they had one. That would be crazy. But yeah, highly recommend. Thanks to the girls. The company is called Vibes Only, and maybe we'll get a code from them at some point. That would be cool. We should do that. Okay, guys, have a nice day. If it's still orgasm day, get out there, celebrate. I mean, stay inside, celebrate. And if it's not orgasm day, yes, it is. Every day is orgasm day. Bye.